You ever feel like your clinic can't function for more than 10 minutes without you? The phone's ringing. Ooh, I can't function without me either. Sorry, the phone's ringing, staff's asking questions. Um, People are grabbing on you, dragging on you over and over and over. Um, this calls for you. This talk is for you. So you didn't build your practice to live in chaos. You became a veterinarian because you care about animals and wanted a little freedom to do some good work, lead a great team, and have some control over your time. But what usually happens is the opposite. The business starts controlling you. And it's not because you're doing anything wrong, it's because of how most clinics are structured. They automatically pull the owner into every decision. There are a few common traps almost every DVM falls into, and they create that cycle where you're too busy to fix what's keeping you busy. So today we're going to talk about the six biggest ones. I'll show you what they look like inside your day, why they happen, and what you can do to finally step out of the weeds and lead with more calm and control. Stick with me through the end, and I'll share a simple weekly rhythm you can start next Monday that'll help that keeps you ahead instead of constantly catching up. So give me 1 second. Let me get my share going, and I'll jump right back in. Um, All right. So for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Cassie Sykes. I'm an enrolled agent, but I spend most of my time helping owners make sense of the financial and operational chaos that comes with growth. I live in East Texas. I'm married and I built my entire career around helping people feel more confident about their money. Facebook is giving me an error again. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Um, about their money. Oh, and their business. I didn't grow up with money or fancy connections. I get what it's like to juggle clients, family, and bills while still trying to build something meaningful. What I love about working with veterinarians is your heart. You care deeply, work endlessly, and never stop showing up. But that same dedication can burn you out if there's no structure around it. My goal is to help you get your time, your focus, and your life back. So the first mistake is the owner as bottleneck. So this is the most common one I see when everything has to go through you. Every supply order, discount, schedule change, and refund crosses your desk. You think you're keeping things tight, but really you're training your team to wait instead of to decide. It comes from a good place, wanting consistency, but it ends up making the bottleneck. The fix is defining lanes. Decide what truly needs your approval and what your team can handle with clear guardrails. Maybe anything under 300 can be approved by a manager, or scheduling changes within normal hours don't need your sign off. You're not giving up control, you're giving your team a lane so you can focus on higher level work. Try it for 2 weeks and you'd be amazed how much time you get back. The second mistake is not having a weekly rhythm. So when your clinic doesn't have structure built into the week, you end up living in constant reaction mode. Every day becomes about putting out the next fire, and by Friday, you can't even remember what you accomplished. Creating a rhythm isn't about adding more meetings, it's about giving your week a framework. Start with a short Monday huddle to align everyone. Talk about the schedule, staffing gaps, and one focus point. Maybe pushing rechecks or improving communication. Midweek, block 30 minutes for a quick numbers check. Look at booked versus kept appointments, average invoices, and cash on hand. Then close the week with a 20-minute Friday debrief. What went right, what slowed us down, and what's one thing we'll fix next week. Once you stick with this for a month, you'll start to notice something. Fewer surprises, less confusion, and way more calm. The third mistake is fuzzy pricing. Veterinarians are generous people by nature, so you want to help your clients. You want their pets to get the care they need, and sometimes that means you adjust your pricing or throw in a discount without even thinking about it. It feels compassionate in the moment, and it is. It comes from a place of compassion, but when it becomes the norm, it starts quietly draining your profit. The fix here is to take emotion out of pricing. Set your margin floors, maybe 60% for labs, 50% for surgery, 40% for wellness, and stick to them. That doesn't mean you can't help someone in need, but it does mean those exceptions should be planned, not automatic. Discounts should happen for a reason, not just because you felt bad in the moment. Once your pricing has structure, you're no longer playing catch up with cash flow, and your team stops wondering what's okay to discount and what's not. Consistency protects your profit and your sanity. Give me a sec. Let me make sure this is. If you've been here at all, you know that Facebook has been fighting me a lot lately with this live. Yep, there it is. It's working. Okay. So the fourth mistake is not to have any cash cushion. This one is one that keeps owners up at night. When there's no cash cushion, every slow week feels like an emergency. You're refreshing the bank app, juggling vendor payments, and praying nothing breaks before payroll clears. So the start of the fix is to build, or is by building a small buffer. Even 1 week of expenses helps. The easiest way is to skim a percent or two off of every deposit into a separate savings account until you've built up 2 weeks of operating cash. Pair that with a simple 13-week cash forecast. Nothing fancy, just upcoming inflows and outflows. Review it once a week. When you can see what's coming, you stop leading from fear and start leading from strategy. Predictable cash flow creates calm leadership, and calm leadership creates confident teams. The fifth mistake is DIY bookkeeping that hides the story. I see this one constantly. Owners are trying to do their own books, or a well-meaning bookkeeper entering every tiny detail without ever turning those numbers into something useful. You might technically be caught up, but if you can't trust what you're looking at, it's not doing you any good. And here's the nuance. Detail isn't bad if you're using it. Some owners like to see a deeper breakdown, and that's fine if you're actually reviewing it and using it to make decisions. So, for example, instead of just salary, you have reception salary, RVT salary, per diem vet salary. Some people like to see that detail, some just one salary or payroll. So if you're using it to make decisions, but if it's just there for the sake of having more lines on a report, it's extra work for nothing. Clean books should close within 5 business days. Reports should land in your inbox by the 15th, and your P&L should make sense at a glance. When you keep things up to date and actually look at them, you'll catch problems early, spot trends faster, and finally feel in control of your money instead of guessing. The sixth mistake is to have roles for your staff without scorecards. This is kind of a sneaky one. So you think everyone knows what they're supposed to do, but if you asked, how do you know you're winning at your job? Most of your staff wouldn't have an answer. So without clear outcomes, even good employees drift. You end up micromanaging because no one knows what success looks like. The solution here is a one-page scorecard for each role, not a job description. Job descriptions list tasks. A scorecard lists results. So for a receptionist, that might be call answer rate, forward booking percentage, and check-in wait time. For an inventory lead, it might be accuracy, stockouts, and turnover. So review those numbers weekly and celebrate the wins. When your team knows their targets, they start to manage themselves better and you get your brain back. So quick self-check. Take a second and think through these 6. How many of them sound familiar? If you're nodding yes to 4 or more, start with numbers 1 and 2. Those 2 alone can give you back hours every week. If you recognized 2 or 3, just focus on the one that causes the most daily frustration. And if you only checked 1, you're in great shape. Just focus on tightening your systems and maintaining consistency. So the weekly rhythm, let's come back to that. So it's really the foundation that holds everything else together. Monday is your 15-minute huddle where you're going to set priorities, spot problems early, and make sure everyone's aligned. Wednesday is your numbers check. 30 minutes to look at appointments, cash flow, production, and expenses. Friday is your 20-minute debrief where you wrap up the week, celebrate wins, and decide what you'll improve next week. Now, if those exact days don't fit your schedule, that's fine. Pick your own. You're the boss after all. The point isn't perfection, it's consistency. So protect those 3 meetings for 60 days and watch how communication improves, how problems shrink, and your stress level drops. If you want help setting this up, or if you just want someone to walk through your numbers and spot what's leaking, please book a free profit and cash flow analysis with me. In that call, we'll pull your data, figure out where the money's slipping, and lay out a simple 90-day plan that actually fits your practice. You can grab a grab a time at the link that'll be in the comments. Oops. Before you go, I want to share an incredible resource that's been designed to elevate your veterinary practice's financial success. I've put together a free ebook just for you. It's called 7 Financial Strategies for Veterinary Practice Owners. Inside, you'll discover practical steps to increase your profitability, improve your cash flow, and make smarter financial decisions for your practice. You can grab your free copy in the comments. That's it for today. If this helped, please pass it along to another vet owner who could use a clearer picture of their numbers. And if you're ready to get your numbers dialed in, go ahead and book that free profit and cash flow analysis. I will see you next week for our next free training. Have a great rest of your week.